Dave and Lisa were a married couple who lived in Tampa, Florida. They had a 16-year-old daughter, Emily, who they dearly loved and cherished. Lisa was always overly possessive of her daughter. She always kept an eye on everything Emily did. She always confirmed where she was going, when she would come back, who was she going with, who would she meet there. And not only that, Lisa was very strict when it came to curfew time, and when and where her daughter was allowed to go. It was as if Emily could rarely get permission to do what she actually wanted. But Emily knew her mother loved her, and she only did what she did because she was worried for her safety. Emily usually got all the permission she needed from her father. Dave was lenient towards his 16-year-old. He understood his daughter needed some personal space of her own now that she was growing up, and he often dropped her off at her friend's house or a party at a restaurant she wanted to go to. He wouldn't restrict Emily to anywhere unless he really thought it wasn't safe for her to go. Naturally, Emily was more close to her father than she was to her mother. Oftentimes, the couple would argue over the matter, that their parenting styles weren't correct. Lisa believed Dave should have been more strict with Emily, while Dave believed Lisa could tone it down on her restrictions. One of these days, the two were arguing in the living room. "Lisa, you shouldn't do this. One of these days, Emily is going to become rebellious." "Rebellious? There is no space for rebellion in this house. If it's going to happen because of you. You're too lenient with her." "No, Lisa, I'm reasonable. You start scolding her even if she's just 5 minutes late coming home. That's not fair." "Why are you taking Emily's side? She tried to butter you up, didn't she?" "Lisa, try to listen to what you're saying." "Oh, I understand why you're doing this. I understand why you're so lenient towards our daughter." "Dave, it's not your fault." Just then, the two flinched to a loud, shattering noise from across the room in their dining space. Dave and Lisa were shocked to their core to witness something outrageous. All the flower vases had somehow just shattered, as if it exploded from inside out. Not only the vases, all the glassware in the cupboards, the cups on the table, everything that was made of glass had just burst into tiny shattered pieces. "Dave, what just happened?" "I don't know." Dave and Lisa walked towards their dining table. Lisa picked up the pieces of her flower vase and looked around. The windows had even been shattered. Did someone throw something from outside? Lisa went towards the window and looked outside. There was no one around. No, there would have been something inside in that case. It was as if everything had just burst all at the same time. Lisa looked at Dave with big wide eyes. "Do you think it was something paranormal?" "What rubbish. There must be some sort of scientific explanation. Some sound wave, something. I have to look into the matter." "I don't know, Dave. Something doesn't seem right to me. I'm feeling a chill in my body." This isn't the first time something like this has happened. This is by far the most extreme incident so far, but I've noticed strange things happen in this house before. Dave walked around the scene. "This is just ridiculous." "Don't be superstitious, Lisa. I'm sure there's a logical explanation behind all of it." The house that Lisa and Dave lived in was Lisa's family home, where she grew up. It was part of the family heritage and had been passed down the line and now belonged to Lisa. Lisa couldn't understand why suddenly these kind of strange events were taking place in the house. She didn't remember seeing anything like it growing up with her parents, and she didn't recall hearing anything like it from her grandparents either. Lisa's parents, grandparents, and her ancestors had lived in this very house happily without any complaint. Lisa recalled that ever since she was pregnant with her daughter, these incidents started to occur. but she really began noticing them after Emily was born. Lisa started to believe that perhaps her ancestors were trying to tell her something. Could there be something more to these incidents? The next day, Dave went out to the hardware store to bring home some new equipment to repair the house windows, while Lisa went to the library. She went to meet a friend of hers that worked there. She was a librarian. Lisa had a strong feeling that something supernatural had happened in her home. She thought perhaps her friend would be able to give her a better opinion on the matter. Wow, Lisa. This sounds like something Professor Henry Connery would be able to answer. Professor Henry Connery? Who's that? He's a professor at BII University, and he's one of the most knowledgeable men I know. He is an expert on paranormal activities, and he believes there is a spirit world out there. Let me give you his number. Do you think he'll be able to give me an explanation to what's been happening in my house? I can't say for sure, but I heard that he helped out a girl whose fiancé was at the verge of death. The girl and her fiancé were looking to get married soon. That's when her fiancé fell victim to some sort of magic. Professor Connery assisted the girl and mentored her on the matter. I heard her fiancé is finally recovering now. When Lisa got home that night, she spoke to Dave about bringing Professor Henry Connery to investigate the house. Are you serious, Lisa? Have you gone crazy? First you argue about restricting Emily on everything, and now you're arguing on if this house is a ghost house. Dave, listen to me. It wouldn't hurt to just look into it. Do whatever you like, but do it when I'm out of the house. I don't want to get involved in your superstitions. Lisa contacted Professor Connery, who was quite curious about the matter. Lisa requested him to come to her home to check out the damage. The next day, Professor Connery arrived at Lisa's home. Hello, I'm Henry Connery. Is this the house of Lisa Jones? Yes, this is Lisa. I'm so glad you were able to come check out the situation here. I've heard a lot about you, and I believe if there's anyone who can help me, it's you. Professor Connery stepped into the house. So where did it all happen? Lisa took Professor Connery around her home, and finally to the dining room, where all the glassware had suddenly shattered. By the look on the professor's face, Lisa could sense that something must have been bothering him. Suddenly, Professor Connery began to sweat. He held his head and furrowed his eyebrows as he took a seat. Lisa, could you please bring me some water? Lisa hurried and brought the professor a drink. He looked pale and sick. As Professor Connery sat in Lisa's dining room, Dave returned to the house. Dave became irritated the moment he realized the man that Lisa had wanted to bring in to investigate ghosts was in the house. He took Lisa aside. How much longer will it take, Lisa? Dave, just give him some time. Within a few minutes, Professor Connery called Lisa. My apologies if I happen to bother anyone. I won't take up any more of your time. I'll be heading out. I have something very important I need to get done. When Lisa bid farewell to the professor, she closed the door and found Dave standing with his arms folded. So did you find the ghost? No, I guess you were right. He wasn't able to find anything. He didn't say anything either. Lisa was a bit disappointed, but she supposed the more logical answer was Dave's after all. Suddenly, in the middle of the night, the couple woke up to a knock on their door. Dave opened up to find Professor Connery accompanied with the police. Officers, arrest this man. Professor Connery pointed at Dave, and the officers surrounded Dave and handcuffed him. Lisa yelled out, "What is all of this? Let go of my husband. What is going on?" Professor Connery ushered to Lisa. "You have to lead us to your basement." Lisa led the professor and the officers to the basement, where they began digging to one corner that Professor Connery had pointed out. Lisa was horrified to discover the remains of a person buried in her basement. Lisa asked, "But how did you know?" Professor Connery said, "The minute I stepped into your dining room, where you said the incident had taken place, I sensed something. I felt a presence, a vibe coming from beneath. I heard a voice from the spirit world speak. It said, 'He drugged my sister and tried to take advantage of me and killed me.'" I was intrigued by the statement. I immediately went to the police. I have a close friend who is a cop. From him, I was able to learn that your sister had gone missing years ago. The report said she may have been abducted, but I couldn't make sense out of the statement I had heard. I pondered on the matter for quite some time, and what I had suspected had turned out to be true. This is none other than the remains of your sister, Lisa. Lisa was thundered at what she heard. She fell to her knees and shook in grief. She had been searching all these years for this one answer. "Hi, I'm Lisa. I live nearby with my sister." "Hi, I'm Dave. I just moved into town." "Would you like to get some coffee, Lisa?" "Sure." "I love you, Lisa." "I love you too, Dave." "I've got to move out of that apartment. It's the worst place a person can stay in this town." "Why don't you move in with me and my sister?" "Why don't you marry me first?" "Lisa, I have a college party tonight. I'll be back at 10. "All right, Diana, but be safe and be back home on time." "What?" "Diana isn't going anywhere. You can go where you need to go in the morning in bright daylight." "Diana, where have you been? What were you doing with that guy I saw you on the street with?" "He's just a friend, Dave." "If I ever see him around this house, or with you, you will never be allowed to leave this house again." "Lisa, this isn't fair." "Diana, I know you want to go out, but try to understand Dave's point of view. He's only doing this because he's worried for you. He's too possessive. I don't like him." "Sweetheart, why don't you have this soup? It will make you feel better." "What are you doing to me?" "Stay away from me." "Dave, no!" "Where is Diana?" "I told you something like this was bound to happen. She must have run away with that guy." "No, Dave, my sister wouldn't do such a thing." "Did you meet Diana at college today? Was Diana in a relationship with anyone? When was the last time you met or spoke to Diana?" "I'm so sorry, Mrs. Jones. It's been about a week. The police have tried their best to locate your sister, but we've found no luck. We are still trying our best, but you must keep patience." "Dave, where could she go? What happened to my sister?" "Calm down, Lisa. Don't stress so much. It's not good for our child. Leave this to me." It was after so many years that Lisa had finally discovered the truth behind her missing sister. Lisa had been living with a wicked monster all these years. Dave had deceived her. Lisa couldn't hold in the tears anymore. Professor Connery walked behind Lisa. He looked out into the distance and sighed. It's been long since Diana was trying to communicate with you. She was hurt seeing you trust Dave. But now she's in a better place. She wants you to be happy. Diana can finally rest in peace. Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.